What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, today we're going to be checking out some Battlefield 2042 gameplay, and surprisingly, during this whole beta, I gotta say, the SMGs really stood out to me. I know tons of people really preferred the ARs, like the M5 rifle or the AK or something like that, but to be completely honest with you, the first SMG and also the Vector, I really fell in love with them. Everybody said they were underpowered and they really didn't do too much, but in my personal preference, you're going to see in a lot of this gameplay footage, they completely wreck. As long as you know where you're going and you put yourself in the right side of the map at the right times, you will absolutely destroy whole teams. Also, a very important piece of information in this clip right here. I haven't really shown it in the past because I never really dug through my footage to find it for proof when I said it in the past videos, but I mentioned previously that when you go ahead and you have someone on your team that has a med bag or they have an ammunition bag, it shows a plus or an ammunition symbol over their head. Again, I didn't have any proof in the past, so not too many people believe that, but right in this video footage right here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Above my squad mate's head is an ammunition symbol. So, like I said, just as we saw here, if your team does have ammo and you were trying to find something, it shows you right there that your squad mate has an ammunition bag. Now, I don't know if this is going to be working for everybody. I don't think it did in this build of the game. I think it's just your squad mates that you can see what they're using. So hopefully for the full build of the game, when we're spending $60 to $70 on this title, or even $80 if you want the early edition, hopefully you'll be able to see all the blue or the green players with an icon above their heads to know who has what. Again, it's still going to be a classic Battlefield problem where we're going to have to chase down these players and knife them 50 times, begging for them to drop an ammo box because they never want to or they just don't recognize us. It's the same crap, just a different game. Nothing's going to change with that, but still, at least we get to know who has what, so we can at least bug the right people. But ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about the future of Battlefield 2042. From my perspective, I had a blast playing the beta. Yes, I had tons of downtimes where it was just absolutely awful. Connection was bad, rubber banding problems, optimization is absolute crap, performance issues, bugs, frame droppage. I mean, the list goes on. It was an god-awful beta, to say the least. But when it came down to the game itself, it was just phenomenal. I love the gunplay, the movement, the lack of skill-based matchmaking in this title, the atmosphere of the game, the map design, the color palette that they chose. Everything is just, it feels so good, refreshing, and nice for a Battlefield game to return back to this style of gameplay. But at the end of the day, obviously, my voice isn't the only voice. I mean, we've all come to this conclusion already. You know, this channel is all opinion based. I'm just talking to you guys, discussing games that I enjoy with you guys. That's all it is. But again, I don't talk for everybody. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there that share completely opposite opinions about this game. Tons of people despise Battlefield 2042, and it's stressing me out a bit because I see all the potential in the world for this game to succeed. I see everything out of this, and I think EA DICE has a shot to just completely take off and make sure Battlefield goes in the right direction. But one thing is going to be holding this game back, and I made a video about this in the past, but that's the performance. And I was talking specifically about the beta before, but I mean, seeing how the beta is, even if they did polish off a tiny portion or a good amount of portion of this beta into the final build, there's still a ton of work to be done. There's no shot at all that this game is going to release in any good way. There's no possible way. The game is going to release in the worst buggy, glitchy state in the whole universe, obviously a typical Battlefield release, and I feel like that's going to push a lot of the players back, especially the core Battlefield players who are already not interested in this game as it is, which is sad because it has a lot of potential. As you guys know, the core Battlefield 2042 experience isn't the only thing that's coming out in this game. Hazard Zone is going to be coming out in this game, which there will be a trailer for that, I believe, tomorrow. So, actually, tomorrow's video is going to come out a little bit later than, my typical videos. Usually, I try to put them out at 8 in the morning, but probably around, like, maybe 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, because there's going to be a brand new trailer for Battlefield 2042 Hazard Zone that's going to be releasing tomorrow. I'm probably going to live stream it as well. So, again, if you guys want to catch this stuff, go over to my Twitch live stream. Link to that stuff is down in the description. But I'm going to make a video about that the day of, instead of typically making the video the day before. But again, there's going to be Hazard Zone, which is going to be like an Escape from Tarkov version of a Battle Royale. They're not going the traditional Warzone, Apex Legends, Fortnite route. They're going to make a completely different twist, which in my opinion is fantastic because I'm tired of BRs. We have one too many BRs in the scene right now, and they're all the top dogs. I don't want to have any more competitors. I want something new. And the formula for Escape from Tarkov is exactly that. It gives you that thrill, that adrenaline rush, knowing that if you die, that's it. But you're not going into a looting simulator. When you go in with a purpose. You go in with an objective, and everything that you bring in with you, if you know that you're going for a really beefy raid and you need to deck your character out with your best gear, you know that if you die, all of that's going away. You are not taking any of that back with you. So all of the weeks of grinding to try to find that stuff, bam, gone. That's the risk and reward factor of Escape from Tarkov, and that's what they're going to try to replicate in Hazard Zone. And I personally think there is no better team to go ahead and take this approach to casualize the Escape from Tarkov formula than EA DICE. They're the perfect developers for it, and I think it's going to be phenomenal. And again, they have another game mode called Portal, which is basically going to be an old school Battlefield player's wet dream. Let's be real here. It allows you to use characters, weapons, vehicles, maps from across all the different Battlefield games throughout the whole franchise. And I'm positive that throughout the years of this game being alive, there's going to be multiple other additions into this game, and they're probably going to have every single Battlefield game crammed into Battlefield Portal. It's going to be phenomenal. And basically, you can even go into the code to mess with things. You can mess with the movement, the gunplay, the actual formula of the game modes. You could change everything in Portal. So what you hate in Battlefield 2042 with the regular game, you can completely change it to exactly what you like in Battlefield Portal. And you can play with friends, you can host lobbies, and I'm sure there's going to be tons of people out there who will do that. They're going to find the problems with Battlefield 2042, they're going to polish it out, they're going to make custom game modes on Battlefield Portal, and they're going to be 24/7 filled up because people want that type of action. Battlefield 2042 is going to be a game to remember, but are people going to be able to be patient enough to deal with the crappy launch to get to that point that we're all waiting for? I'm worried that players are going to load up this game, or they're going to see content creators loading it up and seeing that it's an absolute buggy mess. It's horrifying, and it's going to be a bunch of people talking down on this title. And because of all of this, the game just isn't going to launch good. Players are not going to purchase it. Players are not going to want to enjoy it. Players are not going to support it. And I really don't want to see it take the same route as Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 was just disgusting. It had the worst launch ever. It took ages, months to get more content into that game that we're begging for. Multiple horrible game mechanic changes that killed the game for me. And then it took almost, a year plus for them to get the Pacific in the game. And then finally, it started to form into something good. Once the Pacific came and we had all that content, the full map rotations, we started getting more factions. It really felt like a World War II game. And it started to become fun. And then out of a blink of an eye, bam. Yeah, we're not producing any more content for this game. We're cutting off all production. And we all know they did that so they can get more people to work on Battlefield 2042. It was nearing that time, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that it took that long just to be able to get a complete World War II shooter, it just showed that the community had no love for that game. They tried to BR in Battlefield 5, Firestorm, whatever it was called, but nobody played it to the point that they didn't even bother updating it, adding stuff to it, innovating on it. It was a completely dead game. They let it flop. They let it go, just like how they completely let Battlefield 5 go as a whole game. I don't want to see Battlefield 2042 go down the same road just because the launch will be disgusting. This game, in my opinion, has all the potential in the world to be a top dog contender for some of the best Battlefield games out there. Obviously, not at launch is going to take months, maybe even up to a year to even get there. But do I see all the potential for it? Yes, I could see a year or two down the road, or even 5+ years down the road, 10 years down the road, people looking back on this title and saying, yes, Battlefield 2042 was an absolute banger. And even the people who despised the core game were still able to branch off to Portal, which is going to be a banger game mode. That right there, Portal, that alone is going to revolutionize everything we know about FPS. I guarantee you that in Call of Duty's next implementation, they're going to copy something like that. Because it's genius, allowing the core fans of the Battlefield franchise to come into the game, mess with the code, change everything they like about the game to make it to their standards, and allowing them to have a good time in the franchise without having to worry about the core experience. It's the ultimate play. So even if Call of Duty, the next game, sucks butt, they'll still have a, quote-unquote Portal mode that people can still go back and make a game like Modern Warfare 2, or a game like World at War, or something like that. Something that they are fond of, and they can play the exact replica of it. I just hope that the Battlefield community is strong enough to push through this fight, because, like I said, I've seen so many OG hardcore Battlefield fans just completely saying this is just disgusting, awful, nothing like Battlefield. They want nothing to do with it. You see, if it wasn't like that, if it was just people, giving their typical complaints and saying the game was bad and needs a lot of work and stuff like that, I wouldn't be worried. But when you see hardcore Battlefield people completely dropping from the game because they don't like it, that's when I get a tad bit worried, because a lot of those people, then their viewers are going to stop playing it, and then those viewers, they're going to tell their friends to stop playing it, and then their fans family stop playing it, and then it's going to spread more and spread more until a lot of people just drop like flies from the Battlefield franchise. But guys, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new and you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Also, you want to chat with me, there's 2 ways to do so, for Twitter and Discord. Both those links are down in the description. And also, want to catch me live stream some video games that I do over on Twitch. Link that is in the description as well. But guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.